Alright guys, welcome back to another Warframe video. In the last video, we were continuing our Steel Path trip around the solar system and doing some more work on Jupiter. I think I've got it down to, maybe 6 missions, 7 missions, plus 2 of the junction nodes. So we should have Jupiter wrapped up reasonably quickly here. But today we're going to switch gears and we are going to jump into another new frame first impression. I have quite a few that I've gotten very recently and then quite a few that have been collecting dust in here for a while. Ivara kind of splits the difference. She's one I've had, I don't know how many months now, but I figured I would test her out, see what she's about. I used her in the very circuit once or twice. I feel like she is an arrow shooting frame, and I feel like she had some invisibility built into her kit, which I thought would be an interesting ability to test in Steel Path. Now, obviously, I've got Loki, and I've got Loki built for the longest duration possible on his invisibility. The problem with how I have him set up is he does not hit super hard, so I would want to play around with him in Steel Path, probably with Torrid Incarnate. I am going to swap again, just like last time I was using the Felarks. I'm going to use the Felarks again today, and I think in lieu of Epitaph, I'm going to also stick with the Latum like I was rolling last time. We're just going to be testing Ivara, though. That's going to be our test. So first things first, let's check out her abilities. Passive, senses enemies within 50 meters. I don't know what that means, but if it shows a radar blip within 50, that's actually a pretty generous distance. Though in terms of passive, I mean, am I ever really thinking, gosh, I wish I knew where that enemy was? Extremely rarely, so that's kind of a whatever, but I guess it's cool. Alright, we've got Quiver. That's right, you could cycle through different, Shoot 1 of 4 arrows. Cloak, stationary bubble that cloaks Ivara and allies. Dashwire creates a traversable zip line. Noise emits a high-pitched sound that attracts enemies, and sleep puts nearby enemies into a deep slumber. Okay, so I'm guessing Cloak would be the one I would be using more than anything else, just guessing. We've got Navigator, assume control of any projectile launched and guide it to the target. Yeah, so that's actually pretty cool, I guess. I'm wondering if, in lieu of Felarks, I should consider, say, Nataruk or any other bow that also hits really hard with her. Maybe just because she seems bow-focused doesn't necessarily mean that that's necessary. Just kind of thinking out loud. Okay, so what's next? Prowl. Oh, so she got 2 ways to go invisible. Invisibility, steal loot from unsuspecting enemies, or take out prey with deadly headshots. Steal time 4 seconds, range 2 meters, drain per second is 1, drain is 25, headshot damage 1.1. Artemis Bow, summon a mighty bow, unleash a volley of devastating arrows, and it's got 3 multi-shots, so that's not bad. Alright, so I am going to take a minute. I am going to read through Ivara's tips here. Just so I have a sense of what I may or may want to be thinking when we get over to the modding side. So I'm going to do that on my own. Then I will cut and we'll jump over and start looking to get her modded up. Okay, so I read through her tips. She's got some pretty interesting synergies there. It does say it's looking like maybe bows would be the best idea because it will pull you out of invisibility from Prowl if you use a noisy weapon. I don't think that I have any weapon mods that do 100% silence. I know there's like Hush mods, I think is the name of it. I know, who am I thinking of? Banshee has some full silent augments, but I guess I'll play around with Ivara, see what makes the most sense. It also mentioned that you can avoid the drain in Prowl if you use Navigator. So it's looking to me like she's going to need some range. is going to be pretty important, as well as duration, I'm going to guess, is going to be pretty important, along with a big energy pool. So let's just back out. I'm going to quickly do an appearance customization, and then we're going to jump in and start getting her modded. All right, guys, I got Ivara adjusted there. She's got a pretty interesting skin that makes for some interesting kind of coloration. Yeah. I think it looks pretty cool. It's certainly one of the more colorful ones that I have, but I like how there's a bit of bleed in and bleed out in various sections of it, some gradient action. But yeah, looks pretty good. I'm reasonably happy with it. So let's just jump over and start seeing what mods we think will make some sense here. Whoops, that's her abilities. We want to go to upgrade. So she's got an aura mod with that polarity. So I guess energy siphon would maybe not be a bad one to consider. Yep, that's looking like the one, at least for the immediate here and now. Yeah, I'm thinking so. So we'll leave that there. So first things first, we know we're gonna, gosh, she's only got 215 energy. Her health isn't super high, her shield isn't super high, her armor is rather low, her energy isn't super high. She's pretty quick. But let's start, I guess, with a nice primed flow. I can't imagine that I need Archon Flow, right? Nope, because she doesn't do cold. So we'll go primed flow. That will absolutely help the cause. Then we want to get her cost down, because I'm guessing we want to stay invisible as long as we can. That's probably going to be pretty important. So let's go to, where is it? Streamline. Okay. I don't believe intensifies for strength, restoring health. No, she doesn't do that with hers. Duration is no, because that's just based on a drain, so that's tied to her energy pool. That has nothing to do with duration. Okay. Duration, I guess, would be the steal time that she's afforded. Ah, so she can just, like, rip, pickups off of enemies. Like, whatever pickups they would have if you took them out while staying invisible. That's actually pretty cool. Seeing the little preview there. So I guess what we'll do, we'll go for probably a normal stretch would make the most sense, but maybe there's something useful that I have that uses this polarity. Duration, yeah, her range would be a little lower, but the duration would be way up. So what does that do there? Steal time. I mean, okay. It's technically up a tick, but it's, I don't know as though it's worth throwing that on, eating up that many points for that. Yeah, I guess for the purposes of the bubble, that would make sense. The cloak bubble. Yeah, that probably, I guess, that's fine. That's fine. Rolling guard might be important since she feels pretty squishy. But I'm thinking, forget strength, forget armor. Additional efficiency would be good to have. They could sit up to 145. What's that drop the drain on that? 27.5. Drain per second is 0.34, and the cost to cast is down to 13.75. That's pretty reasonable. I think given how relatively low those are now, and I've got her energy pool already up to 613, I don't think I want to mess with efficiency beyond that. I think that's going to be a good enough setup, and I'm okay starting there. And she doesn't seem like a kit where strength is going to play a big part into how she feels to use. I could be wrong about that, but I suspect I'm going to end up throwing on some probably shield capacity mods, fast deflection to kind of fill out her kit. maybe a single strength mod, but it feels to me like her abilities are her abilities, and you're probably heavily going to use her invisibility and then use her as a weapons platform primarily. That's at least on the surface what it looks like, but that's at least our good starting point. So let's consider where we want to start here. I guess Energize is never a bad choice. Yes, I'm still just using my version that I earned. I use the other for stuff that I'm just doing when I'm mucking around in the background. What else do I want to do on her? I'm going to take a minute and read through the rest of these while I think about it and figure it out, and then we'll come back. All right, guys, I settled on Arcane Rise. Reason being that I'm probably going to be swapping over to the Nataruk to have a bow on her. And since it fires one at a time, you're constantly reloading. Assuming it functions that way and it is a primary, I should have a good chance for higher damage for extended periods of time. And yeah, I know that's also an unranked. You know, I've gotten as many as have dropped. So it is what it is. That's what we're at least going to try. So I'm going to swap off of the Felarks with Ivara. We're going to go grab the Nataruk that I have also not used in quite a while. Let's just look and see where I have this thing set up. You know, I feel like this would not be a bad weapon to consider putting a primary arcane adapter on. It is the strongest bow that I have, I think. So let's just look and see what primary arcanes maybe. Longbow, sharp shot. 50% damage on the next shot. Yeah, that could be huge. 60% damage for 24 seconds on precision headshot. Stacks up to 3 times. Of course, that could also be good, and that doesn't require headshots for it. But I feel like that's not quite as strong as primary deadhead, and it is a bow. Of course, this one gives a damage if I just land a headshot. So every time I land a headshot, I get automatic 50% damage on the next shot. I think that's probably going to make sense on a bow, so that's what we're going to pop on there. Gosh, what do I even have on this thing? So we've got split chamber. Let's take that off and put galvanized chamber on. Oh boy. Yeah, the Nataruk does hit hard. Status chance. What is the status chance on this? I do charge shots. So 50% chance. 60 on a perfect. 50 on a perfect. Crits 50. So I guess maybe I'll consider Vigilante Fervor. Do I not have a maxed out Vigilante Fervor? Oh, you know what? I think I had that on before, but I intentionally turned it down because of how the way the Nataruk functions. Yeah, I feel like Galvanized Aptitude kind of needs to get on here, guys, so I'm going to have to make some choices. I guess I'll take Vigilante Offense off. And I'll take Vigilante Fervor off. I know that does drop the charge time a bit, but it's already so quick with Shred on there. Which maybe I'll go back and swap it back for something else. Fire rate. Ooh, that does drop the fire rate quite a bit though, but I do want Galvanized Aptitude on here. So we're probably going to have to forma the Nataruk a bit. Either way, the numbers are looking pretty good. So that's where we're going to jump in and try. We're going to use the Nataruk. We'll have the Latum as a backup, Glaive Prime, and then we'll just jump in and, as always, start in Sanctuary Onslaught to get Ivara going. Gosh, she looks very festive here. Autumnal color scheme. All right, so here we go. Let's pop this back onto public. And we'll jump into Sanctuary Onslaught and get her started. Alright guys, so my audio recorder battery died in the middle there, so just had to swap those, but it also looks like, and I should have remembered that, Nataruk is not a silent bow, because it has that charge-up thing that it does that does make noise. So what I need to do is see if there is a mod that fits on the Nataruk that will silence it. I don't think so. What is it called? Is it called Hush? No, that's an ability that Banshee has. Oh, no, there is one. Hush. But it looks like it only goes up to... Yeah, that goes up to 100%. Okay. So I just need to forma the Nataruk, so we'll work on that in the background. Let's just forma this thing.
Say, operator, your chosen Warframe suits you. Ha, ha.
I guess putting one on that slot would make the most sense, because then I could consider using something else that does a bit more, brings a bit more to the table. So I'll just forma this. We'll put that polarity on the galvanized aptitude slot. Yes, apply. It's going to pull some mods off. That's totally fine. I can deal with that for the immediate here and now. So we've still at least got some toxin on there. It's not going to be hitting as hard, but nonetheless, we're going to jump back in again, guys. And once we get that ranked up, we'll be able to get Hush on. That should work perfectly with Ivara's kit. So back in here, I didn't get this maxed out, so going to pop back in. Oh, so you pop in and out of it. It doesn't turn off. You just, if you go out, then you pop back out for a second. So it could honestly be way worse than that. I mean, it's not the worst. Not exactly sure how that cloak wire works, because I know, I remember her ult was what made the quiver selection from the one function, but I can't seem to figure out how to get that to actually fire. Is this a dash wire I placed? Looks like, yeah, so I placed a dash wire. Dash wire, cloak. Oh, that's pretty cool. That actually will take a bit of practice to aim to the specific target, it looks like, on that, which I guess is fine. So it says I'm supposed to be able, maybe I actually have to hit my teammates with it and not shoot at the ground near them? Is that how the cloak arrow works? Not exactly sure, guys. I didn't use Ivara for very long in the circuit, so I'm just trying to remember how this actually functions. I've got it set for cloak, so let's pull this out. What happens if I shoot them? Doesn't appear to be doing anything. I would have thought that that would cloak like right on top of my teammates if that were doing something, but it's not. Okay, so she can pop into Invis. If I use that, it's going to pop me out, then back in. He's like, oh, is there somebody there? So, I mean, it's not the worst. It's not the best, obviously, being invisible like that, but it's certainly not the worst. Good thing nullifiers aren't annoying. I see you. I see you hiding over there. Either way, we've got our full kit unlocked, so I'm not going to keep playing around this in Onslaught. I'm going to finish it off myself. We'll cut, and then we'll jump into some real-world testing. Alright, guys, so I got Ivara ranked all the way up. I got that Nataruk ranked back up after forming it, and Hush fit on an Exilus slot. So if I want to form one more thing to make the Nataruk hit a little bit stronger still, gosh, what could I throw on here? I could probably throw, I mean, Vile Acceleration could make it even stupider. Radiated Reload. Of course, that would just be for base radiation, since that won't combine to overwrite my corrosive. But either way, if I wanted to do one more forma, I could make this a bit stronger yet. But this seems to work just fine, and it is completely silent with a maxed Hush on there. So yeah, I can use my strongest bow with Ivara, and she will remain cloaked. And to that end, you know, I haven't tested her, obviously, on in-game content yet. I just got her ranked up. I was playing around in Onslaught, though I stayed in with the group where we went up to where enemies were in the 80s for level. Just off the cuff, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a different story in Steel Path, but Ivara feels completely broken. Staying invisible with the Nataruk that's silent is just kind of silly. So I did take her Infiltrate Augment mod for laser bypass, a little faster movement speed while I am invisible. But this is the setup. I got points to spare. I could throw an Exilus. Honestly, I didn't throw that much special on her because once she's invisible and she's in there, I mean, it's just like turkey hunting, fish in a barrel. So I kept the Prime Flow streamlined. I threw Boreal's Hatred on for just a little extra efficiency and shield capacity. So like the drain on that now is quite low. Energy Nexus, just to have a little energy coming back extra per second. Vigilante Vigor for a little recharge delay lowering and shield recharge speed increase. Fast Deflection for more recharge and shield delay. So if you check the shield, I'm only sitting at 611, but it does come back quite quickly. And yeah, I mean, I haven't gotten to test this out yet. I just set this up after I jumped out. So I guess what I'm going to do, I'm going to go in for a little real world testing. And maybe we'll do like I've been doing. Oh yeah, off group. I'm done with Sanctuary Onslaught. Maybe like I've been doing with the group as of late. I'll just head over to the Zariman. I'm not trying to say with the group. My mind is in a different place than what I'm actually trying to tell you. So I'm gonna go to the Chrysalith. We'll just try a little Zariman bounty, pop in here, see how it goes. I bet you there's going to be a bit of story here. Wow, it's been a while since I've done this.
Deploy you wherever you can do the most good.
Hold fast standing. Rank
Let's
up.
go forward in mutual trust.
Oh, I need more Thrax Plasma. Well, I have plenty of Intrati Lanthorn. But I could use a bit more Thrax Plasma, which I had thought to look at that before I came over here. That's fine. I'll probably pick some up while I'm in here. So in lieu of Holdfasts Rank-Up, let's just jump straight into bounty as I intended. This is an exterminate and take out a Void Angel. It doesn't appear to be on a timer this time, so this should be no problem.
Remind them who
I say that.
belongs
Famous
to.
last words. Yeah, I mean, Ivara felt completely broken in Sanctuary Onslaught. I mean, as simple as doing that.
Only understand violence. Show them they don't belong in our home.
A completely silent Nataruk with an invisible Ivara. I mean, it's just... walk around and take everything out with impunity.
Don't slow down now. Body count can go way higher.
Yeah, I mean... maybe it's just me, but this feels broken. This feels like a broken frame. Is that the Void Angel? I mean, I guess we could do that now. It's fine. Let's just wake it.
When that thing starts moving, and it will, you'd better know what to do. The angel is trying to retreat into the void so it can heal. Follow it and stop it. You can't hurt it while those dimensional orbs are out. Use your void body to absorb it.
One. Do it.
Yes! It won't be shrugging that off.
You can't see me to aim your little ball. It feels like cheating. No, 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 no. Don't do that. Yeah, it took one shot. It's totally fine, fine.
Good. Now it'll stay hurt.
Okay. Oh, we got a molt augmented. Nice. That's right. No running. Let's just go finish the actual mission. Yeah, of course, this does decent damage, but it's not putting out damage like, say, DPS really, like, say, the Torrid or the Latum or even the Felarks. But it doesn't matter because they don't know where I am. So, I mean, this just really does feel rather silly. Oh, a little Lanthorn. Where you going, bud? So I guess I could just roll upstairs and I mean, yeah, the Nataruk hits hard enough. Some more Lanthorn. I guess we can go this way. They're going to be downstairs, I presume. You basically bypass all fighting with this kit. And frankly, even if I didn't have Hush on Nataruk, if I fire it, there's like a half a second delay and then you go back invisible again. And it's like, oh, wait, was there somebody right there? So it truly just doesn't seem to matter. So my initial thoughts on this frame are it's stupidly powerful. Not in terms of, you know, outright damage potential per se, but just for trivializing all of the actual encounters themselves. I mean, Octavia mains, I have to question, what are you doing constantly tapping crouch to stay invisible when this frame exists? I guess she has her mallet. Okay, that's fine. So you actually have to still play a bit with Ivara, but I mean, it's a gimme effectively. Look, oh, there's an enemy dead. with impunity. Ivara's just over here basically taking a leisurely stroll. Oh, there's some enemies. I guess I'll take them out. This is just silly. And I do largely mean that in a good way. I just feel like maybe this is just a touch overpowered. You know, anybody claiming that there's that frame's overpowered, like Octavia, let's see, she's so overpowered. No, she isn't. This is overpowered. And it's like magic, he doesn't remember where I was. Like, you just watched me turn invisible right in front of you. Where do you think I am? Yeah, I mean...
Nice. Keep hitting them hard enough, and eventually they get
that was a piece of cake. She completely trivializes fights. So, I think... You know, I'll find out when I do some steel path testing. In fact, in lieu of doing a separate steel path test with Ivara, I think I'm just going to jump right in and test it right now. I'm not going to say she's a broken frame. Hey, I found 3 and I actually got the bounty. That's awesome. Now that I basically don't need Entrati Orn for anything, but I guess better late than never. And another multi-augmented, that's also awesome. 1 pinion, 3 quills. Not a bad little run there. Let's see if I got enough Thorax Plasma that I can do the standing upgrade now. Did I pick up enough? I did. All right. Let's do it, guys. I think we're going to get a bit of story here. I'm assuming we will. Yep.
Quinn is dead. Whatever guilt he bore should have died with him. So why does it still burn?
Because we're not finished here. None of us.
If we're talking redemption, seems to me the dying's the easy part.
So this is our fate. Living out every day in a pantomime of contrition?
What? Like you got something better to do? Quinn, wake up. Look at us. We're back to how we were. This ain't just a second chance. It's an eternity of second chances.
Perhaps. Yes. Blame lingers, but so does duty. And who is to say that is not why we were recreated? The indifference has awoken, and all of the Void's creations must find a light. Even ones we thought lost. In another time. Let eternity be our horizon. Until then, we shall hold fast.
Ah, and now we've come full circle. So, yep, we are maxed with the Holdfasts. So that is the end of the line there, though I guess I could look and see... He's just got bounties and standing. He doesn't sell anything, but we hit it, I guess, so there's that. All right, so we proved that Ivara completely trivializes basically everything she runs into up to this point, so I'll pick up my Nightwave cred stick. I'm going to back out. We're going to leave here, and we're going to pick... Actually, since she can bypass lasers, maybe there's a nice spy mission. A nice steel path at spy. We're just going to take her straight into steel path. I've not with any frame felt this prepared to just, oh, here's a new frame to try and jump straight into the steel path. But this is it. This is the one. Amalthea. There we go. Let's try it. She can stay invisible as long as she wants. She can bypass lasers. I mean, this frame just feels silly.
Accept your death, and you may yet avoid it.
So we'll
Trust
cast that
in
real
your
quick.
training.
Cast that. I mean, Nataruk's doing just fine. Just fine.
Tenno, be on the lookout for increased security measures.
Okay, this section here where I actually have to get out of, whoops, out of invisible might be, I could still grab it. And then of course I fall there like an idiot. That's my own fault. Where did they spawn me? Way back over there. That's not right. Not that it actually matters. I mean, I walked straight through all of their grids. Whatever. We don't need to do that. It's completely silent. Okay.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching.
I mean, I'm sorry guys, but the camera couldn't even see me if I didn't want to let it. I can walk straight through lasers. Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Okay, well, I think I may have discovered, at least in my opinion, what I think is the first truly overpowered frame I've run into. I mean, you almost don't even have to work for it. Especially with this augment mod, like, she wasn't ridiculous enough. Oh, just walk through lasers. Have at it, friend. Are you serious? Oh, whatever. I'll just use the cipher. Sometimes they're really dumb. The pattern they want you to make, and I just can't see it. Good job there, Ivara. So where are we headed? We're just headed upstairs there. So I can just roll casually back through the laser grid, no problem. Just slowly roll back up to A.
Excellent work. A clean extraction with no alarms.
So let's go invisible again. Now that she's done mucking about with that, I can roll through this with impunity. She triggers nothing. Just kind of walking
Stay
around.
focused.
They
There's
don't
a
even know
heavy
I'm
unit
here.
approaching.
If I didn't interact with them in any way, shape, form, or fashion, they would be completely clueless to my presence. So... Oh, yeah. I remember this one. Let's see. Roll around this way, I guess. Break that grate. C is over there. B is over there. Let's see. How do I go up this way? I think the Hound is doing something stupid again that I dislike. So I can jump.
Alarms have been triggered. You need to retrieve that data before the data destruction is complete.
If I knew how to get over to it, I would.
Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. Heavy robotics signature detected. Lock and load.
I don't remember the way to get to that thing.
It's too late. We've lost this
Doesn't
data.
matter.
You will need to be more careful with the next vault.
Betrayers! Let me introduce my new friends. My latest in hybrid commerce. My amalgams!
Let's go on the offensive!
What in the world is happening? It's gotta be this stupid Hound. Gosh, even when I try to change it, that... Oh well, whatever, it doesn't matter. I wasn't really testing... anything to do with the acolytes that pop in.
Marcus forces demand we evolve.
I guess I could just pop out of this. I can charge this back up. If that's really how you want to play it. If you want to play pirate, we can play pirate. Okay, that's done. 250, that ought to be more than enough energy to get through this. Oh yeah, I remember this one. We had upstairs and the rotating lasers, so I mean, I guess, yeah, we can just completely trivialize this as well. Because we don't have to time hiding behind any boxes at all, since her augment lets her just bypass lasers willy-nilly. Yep, same thing for this. I definitely do remember this. Yep. And then we're there. So, okay. Ivara is broken. I don't want to hear any arguments about it. She is broken. Quite clearly.
Extracted. They won't even know it's gone. The data we retrieved will have to suffice.
I'm not saying that there isn't a time and a place for bringing Ivara into a fight. Say you were grinding spy missions where you need to guarantee that you get all 3 pieces of data. I mean, allowing her to be full on invis and bypass lasers is just like, how overpowered can you make a single frame? Wukong can bypass lasers, but only when he's in his Cloudwalker form. He's only invisible by virtue of the fact that he's teleporting and hitting his staff on the ground repeatedly. Loki can stay invisible, but Loki trips lasers. Who else has anything even remotely near this level of complete and utter stealth? I can't think of
Corpus
one.
walkers are heading to your location.
So as good as I set up my Loki, Loki doesn't compare. Yeah, of course you run through a nullifier, they're going to see you. But outside of a Corpus nullifier, yeah, I mean, that's just silly. I could with impunity tackle any of these missions I feel like tackling with Ivara basically unchallenged. Completely unchallenged. I could all but disarm myself completely of any and all gear, and still the result would be the same. I guess one more for good measure. We did a spy, so let's go. Okay, we have assassination.
You have loyalty.
I can't imagine that will be problematic. We could do a sabotage, Europa Junction. We already did that. I unlocked Europa, I think, in the last video. So yeah, just for fun, let's try assassination. That's where we'll wrap it up.
The assassination target is nearby. Too many times perished to make these abomination. There will be no stopping Corpus. This is not produced. You are here to make sure that doesn't happen.
Okay. So now we just go invisible Robin Hood here with our little trusty bow. Alad V.
Oh, if it's your friends you're looking for, you're welcome to place a bid for my newest Zanuka prototype.
Yeah, really the only caveat is they don't let you bullet jump, so you just roll everywhere. Went through a nullifier, no problem. It's immediately back on.
Oh, have you come to make a donation to my newest enterprise? Excellent. Please report to my lab for reconstruction.
I guess he's scanning my heat signature or something. So we interact with stuff,
I've been looking all over for you,
and
Ted.
we still stay invisible.
Let me show you my new venture. I think you'd be a perfect fit. You have loyalty issues, Tenno. My Zanuka project will fix that for you.
Be careful, Tenno. Zanuka has all the power of a Warframe with a full
Now,
complement of
let
mods.
me...
We
It's
don't
as
need
if
to
you
see
were
that
fighting
again.
one of your own today. Stay focused. There's a heavy unit approaching. You've located the VIP. Time to go to work.
I can't decide, Tenno. Have you come to save your friends, or just steal my property?
Okay. Job's done. Oh no, we have to pick up Zanuka first, that's right. Either way, it's not like there's any repercussions for anything I'm doing over here. Yep. That was completely trivial. So, yeah, guys, I mean...
Assassination contract complete. Great work, Tenno.
Ivara appears to be OP. Not saying there's not a time and a place for Ivara. There's a time and a place for everybody, just like there's a time and a place for Octavia. I guess the only thing I'm saying is if you're going to complain about Octavia and you're not complaining about Ivara, nah, fam. It doesn't even work that way. This is ridiculous. This is a ridiculous Warframe.
As you conquer the foe,
in a good way. In a good
yourself.
way. I'm just saying, let's call the spade, guys. That's my 2 cents. I'm sure that some of you have differing opinions, and that's totally cool. But yeah, I got to say that that is the most trivialized anything that I've done in this game up to this point has felt. Use Ivara, go invisible, have her augment on, walk through lasers while you're at it. Why don't you? I mean, that is complete impunity. So, yeah, guys, my first impression on Ivara is a very, very stupidly powerful frame that I guess there's a time and a place where maybe I would come pull her back out. But, yeah, she just makes a mockery, basically, of everything you're supposed to be doing in the game. So, I guess there's that. That's my 2 cents. I really don't have too much more else to add. I mean, I guess her kit's kind of neat. She has some buffs with her 1 based on the arrows that you choose to fire with your 4. The wire is pretty cool. If you don't want to just have to roll everywhere, you can use her wire, which I think is her 2, to traverse and stay invisible quicker. Her guided arrow is pretty neat, I guess, if you needed to, but I don't know why you need to if you're just invisible in the first place. I mean, your targets aren't going to see you coming. That's my take. I don't really have too much more else to say. I'd like to think that all of you are already acutely aware of what I'm going on about, so that's my thoughts. She is an insanely strong frame that bypasses the game's mechanics entirely. There's not much else to say. Not unfun. It's definitely fun feeling completely immortal. I mean, I don't know how you unlock max level enemies. I've seen when my clan leader took me into the simulacrum, I don't know if it was maxed, but I know you could get stupidly high enemy levels if you just keep rolling in the Duviri circuit, just let it roll and stay in and complete it. I think you can hit max level in the game. I don't think it would even be a remote problem for her because she can stay invisible as long as she wants, short of running into a nullifier bubble. I mean, or running out of energy. If you're running Xeneric, not a problem. And frankly, I have the efficiency to the point that the drain is so low, it just doesn't matter. So anyway, guys, I don't know how entertaining watching this first impression of Ivara is. I guess anybody, as soon as you saw the video, you knew what was coming. But yeah, insanely powerful frame. That's my 2 cents, guys. That is going to do it. As always, I do sincerely appreciate you checking in, and we will catch you on the next one.